Happiness is a feeling of accomplishment and a sense of joy. Happiness is overcoming hardships and conquered our dreams, goals, or little milestones we set for ourselves on the way. What makes me happy is to be in the company of my friends and family, along with doing activities and hobbies that I enjoy, such as listening to music, going to the gym, and playing sports. What will make me happy in the future is to be successful. To me, being successful means to live contently and in control of my life. I can get there by working towards my goals. I'm hopeful to live under the conditions of myself, not dictated by others. This is where I will feel free. Like anyone, I want to achieve happiness, but not an excessive amount of happiness. The thing about happiness that scares me is that it's impossible to be happy all the time. The reason being happy feels so good is because of other experiences of sadness. Happiness is trusting and believing that people are good, and this belief can end up very disappointing. Finding the right balance between happiness and reality, and trusting that you're strong enough to overcome unhappy stages of your life. For my first example, the first quote has taught me that failure is okay. Failure is a part of life. When I feel as though I have failed, I try to keep my head high and my eyes on the prize if I want to fix my mistakes and to get to where I want to be. I need to pave my own path because taking others' paths doesn't result in the same sense of accomplishment. Throughout the process, there will be rough patches and bumps in the road, but I shouldn't let that get in the way of me moving forward. For my second example, the first quote from Brave New World has taught me how trapped people truly are, how they don't have any freedom whatsoever. This is why they want to experience things they haven't before, even if it is bad for them. This shows me that I need to let go of any restrictions holding me back from fulfilling things I've never experienced, things that will prevent my growth as a person. In order to experience that feeling of freedom, I need to block out the negativity that is a barrier between me and what I want. The second quote might look simple, yet it is very powerful to me. The quote shows me that being myself is important despite the standards society holds me to. The bottom line is that there isn't anyone in the world who is exactly like me. So being yourself, whether it is looks or personality, is the most important thing. Happiness isn't attainable if you're in constant opposition with yourself. It is so crucial to love who you are and acknowledge that you're not going to look or act like everyone else. For my third example, the ones who walk away from the Omelas, the second quote has taught me that we live in a capitalistic society that constantly convinces us more is better. So we get more and more, and when we have everything we want, we still find ourselves missing something. This belief that materialistic things result in joy makes us so dependent on these things that we think we need them to maintain a happy life. Yet, before technology was invented, people still lived happy lives, and better yet, they weren't dependent on these things and learned to be grateful for what they have, learned to love the people around them since they were the only people they had, and learned to work with what they had to keep them entertained and most importantly, happy. For my fourth example, the first quote from Miss Brill reminds me to find happiness in the little things and through the hard times. This quote shows how happy Miss Brill is simply because of the beautiful sky, and she's happy that she wore her scarf. I need to remember how much the little things in life can lift my mood, and even in the hardest times, there's something to lighten my mood, which will help me keep my head up and move forward. For my fifth example, the first quote from Of Mice and Men shows how happiness can come at the most unexpected times. To think that something will never happen is coming true is almost miraculous. However, I trust that the key to true happiness is to always believe in whatever you're doing, no matter how impossible it might seem, to always have faith in yourself, and that will result in success and happiness. I like the second quote a lot because I can relate to it. It doesn't matter much about what we're talking about, but the fact that I'm in the company and talking to someone I enjoy being around is all that matters to me. Spending time with loved ones never fails to improve my day. I'm sure most people can relate. It's very common to like being around people that we connect with and love. That's what makes many people happy. For my sixth example, I used utopias. The idea of utopias intrigued me. A utopia would mean a system and world with no flaws, but the truth is that it is impossible to achieve. People are deeply flawed, and we can't expect to live in a flawless world with flawed people. A utopia is a perfect world, and we should always be working towards a world that everyone feels accepted and happy in. But a utopia creates the illusion that everyone is happy even though people are going to struggle no matter how perfect the world is. But it's how that struggle is dealt with that results in payoff, and if we hide behind the false idea that there is a perfect world out there, struggles will be so much more harder for people to deal with. Instead of hiding behind the misconception that a perfect world is possible, we need to look at where we are now and see what we can do to improve. It's the consistent desire to be better and do better that drives mankind. All in all, happiness is a necessary feeling for people. Happiness is powerful and is beneficial to one's life. Happiness can be achieved by doing or acknowledging little things in life. To be grateful of what you have and to block out all the negativity in order to maintain happiness. You need to develop trust and belief in yourself and learn how to love yourself for who you are in order to increase long-term happiness. You should do what you love and to achieve goals to set for yourself and to not listen to people trying to stop you from doing so. Those are the things I've learned about happiness and how to maintain it so I can stay happy throughout my life. But ultimately, achieving happiness is individual to each person, since people find joy in different things.